Well, thanks for staying with us here on News from the State. We begin in Rivers State, where more than 100 aspirants of the All Progressives Congress purchased forms to contest the party's primary elections in Rivers State. But with only 49 elective positions available, the battle for tickets has produced both celebrations and disappointments. Uche Okoro reports.
Coming for screening.
There are 32 seats in the Rivers State House of Assembly, but figures from the All Progressives Congress show that nearly 3 times that number of forms were purchased. With 98 aspirants seeking tickets for the state legislature, the party's screening and appeals committees swung into action. Expectedly, the process quickly took a political dimension as 65 vocal supporters of Governor Siminalayi Fubara were disqualified, while 33 allies of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, were cleared to participate. The development raised questions about the neutrality of the exercise, although party officials insisted the outcome was based strictly on merit and compliance with laid-down requirements. For the House of Representatives primaries, 24 aspirants indicated interest in contesting for the 13 federal constituencies, but only 20 scaled through the screening process. Again, political affiliations appeared to influence the outcome, with aspirants aligned to the FCT minister gaining the upper hand. Among the notable casualties was Boma Goodhead, a known supporter of the Rivers State governor who failed to make the final list. In the senatorial race, 8 aspirants purchased forms to contest for the 3 senatorial districts in the state, but only 4 were cleared. Yet again, long-time allies of the FCT minister emerged among those approved for the primaries. The political camp of some prominent figures who failed to secure clearance, however, remains uncertain. The overall outcome appears to reinforce the perception that although he is not a registered member of the All Progressives Congress, Nyesom Wike still commands significant influence within the party in Rivers State. But given the political history of the state, analysts say the latest developments are far from the end of the story, as the road to the 2027 elections is still expected to produce more intense political battles within the APC. Uche Okoro, TVC News, Port Harcourt.
And TVC News correspondent Uche Okoro joins me from Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Uche, with more than 100 aspirants purchasing forms for just 49 available positions, what does this unusually high level of interest tell us about the political stakes within the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State ahead of 2027?
What I would say is that it speaks more to the division in the party than it speaks to unity. Ordinarily, one would celebrate this as a high-level participation in democratic governance and high interest of the people, to participate in the leadership of the state. But then again, a more critical look would tell you that this only exposes cracks within the ranks of the All Progressives Congress. I say that because if the party, in a situation where the APC is or united in Rivers State, you will have fewer candidates. Why? Because you have people agreeing on one particular or fewer candidates to represent them at the election. You have more cases of consensus candidates. And in that case, that would ordinarily result in a reduction in the number of persons who would buy the form. So this time around, you have different camps of alleged camps of the governor, alleged camps of the FCC minister, and camps of those who are neutral, all coming together to buy forms under the umbrella of the APC.
Right.
So it speaks more to the division that we're experiencing, or that the APC is experiencing in Rivers State, than it does to what the party would ordinarily prefer to describe as unity amongst its ranks.
Yeah, so there is also a financial dimension here, with the party reportedly generating about 1.2 billion naira from nomination forms in Rivers alone. What reactions are emerging from aspirants who spent heavily but failed to make it through to the screening, process?
When I began to calculate the figures, I was blown away by the I had to do the calculation more than once to be sure that I was seeing the right figures. Now, from the House of Assembly alone in Rivers State, the All Progressives Congress generated 588 million naira alone from Rivers State. Now, if in summary, in total, we have about a little over 1 billion naira from Rivers State alone. If you go across the country, if you want to do an estimate, you're looking at between 36 to 38 billion naira generated by the APC nationwide. So that's a lot of money. But then again, as far as reactions go, you know very well that according to the APC guidelines, these monies are non-refundable. The party clearly states that purchase of these forms is not a guarantee for screening or confirmation. So these monies are non-refundable. Right. As it stands now, these aspirants have only presented themselves, a few of them, for appeal. We expect that those who still feel further aggrieved in the coming days and months will approach the court.
We'll see what happens, but Uche Okoro, in the meantime, follow the money. Thank you.